Hey everybody, this is Professor Triplet, and I wanted to show off some of the Marble Madness tracks that have come before, and just to kind of give you some ideas of the high-level work that some of the students have done. I'm not sure why the ice cream sundae is upside down, but anyway, this is really cool. They've used all kinds of deformers, they've textured things, twisted things, and just made this really cool track. Let me show you this one. This one I thought was really interesting. It starts off looking from the point of view of the actual marble here. Let me see if I refresh this. Will it bring it back up? There we go. Yeah, it's gonna refresh it. So it starts off like this, and then then you can see everything happening, or what's gonna happen when the marble goes down. Anyway, there's all these different deformers on stuff, and there's kind of a theme going, and everything's colored. I'm not sure they used every deformer in this. I can't quite see that, but it was still pretty nice fit and finish. This one is my favorite one that I've ever seen anybody do. So let's click on this one, and well, I should say my favorite one of all my students. So this one's got animations. It's completely themed. It's just fantastic. Not many people put this much work into it, but if you do, that's fantastic. So this is really, really good stuff here. So anyway, jumping into Maya, I'm not going to go into a ton of stuff, but I'm just going to say, like, remember that we have things like this curve. You could draw something like that. Now, obviously, when I select this curve, there's a ton of them. But if you remember, we have a tool in curves to rebuild, and let's see, I have it at 8. That's probably good. So I can do that, and now I've got this. I should have a nice smooth curve. And let's turn off edge slide. Okay. So so anyway, you can use stuff like this. I want you to use things from everything you've learned so far, but also the deformers. So if I was to just duplicate this curve and pull it out a little bit like so, and maybe take some of these control verts, and I can turn on my soft select. That will actually work with curves, and I can move this out a little bit. Let's take that and move that out a little bit like so, and you can see like something like this, these two together being identical. If you let me adjust it just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, being identical, if you select these two and you loft them, then look, you can get some really cool tracks going on. You could even take this right here, move it back a little bit further, duplicate it again, bring it down a little bit, something like that. Select one, select the next one, select the next one, and loft in between them, and then you even get like a kind of a scoop type of thing. And obviously with more adjustments it could be better. I'm just kind of trying to do it fast. And then if you wanted to, because this is polygons, you can go ahead and, let's see here, you could extrude that a little bit or go out. There we go. And now you've got this nice little swoopy track. So you don't have to stick, you should obviously use all the deformers. You will use all the deformers, but you don't have to stick with just the deformers. I want you to see that there's all kinds of stuff. You should like just use everything you've used. Blocking out, use curves, use revolves, use everything. If I want to throw a deformer on this, I can make this even more interesting by putting a bend on there. You can grab a deformer, and you can just literally take this deformer and angle it like so, and then go into your channel box, grab the bend, and then you can start like playing with it like that. So now you've got this neat shape that's kind of compound, and you don't even have to delete the history until like right before you save a copy with all the history on it, so if you ever wanted to adjust it. but then delete the history on the final one and export it and stuff. So for that matter, let me just make sure that you know how to apply a material. We'll have to go to full screen here. So I just did control space, well, full screen, and I'm going to right click, assign new material, and we get our materials here. And then as long as I assign a material, I just put a blend on there. I go to my attribute editor, and I just go to the end of the list, and there should be that blend, m_track, and then that could be it. And then make sure you give it a color. So we'll do that. Okay. There we go. I hit 6 on my keyboard so I can see it. And now this would be ready to, like, let's just say this is my whole track, which it's not, but let's just say it was. I would go ahead and delete the history, freeze transformations, and I could go File, Export Selection, Export as an FBX, and then I can upload that into Sketchfab, which we've already seen how to do all that stuff, so I'm not going to go through that again. But when you go into Sketchfab, then there's a video that shows how to manipulate the colors in Sketchfab on this week's list. So make sure, if you want to know how to manipulate, make the lighting better and change the colors in Sketchfab, you can. But you just have to give a unique material to each piece. Just so you know, you could also, if you want to get into the sub-object stuff, or I'd say sub-object, I should say components. Sub-object is what they call it in a different program. If you want to get into this, you can actually assign a material to this. So that's coming off screen. Let me do this again. You can just assign a material to the actual polys there. So assign new material, and I'll make that a blend. And you can see, like, it will actually allow it to be materials just assigned to individual parts of the track if you want. So I could go back into here, name this m_track 1B or something like that. So and then from there you can change that to red or something like that. Let's see what happened there. Let me just make sure that that's, I'm gonna go ahead and do assign. Oh, that's weird. Oh, there we go. I just had to hit 6 again. For some reason it wasn't refreshing. Not sure why. Okay, anyway, so yeah, so how you might use that is go through something like this, and you can do some nice little patterns in here or something like that. Let me show you how I'm going to assign to just this. I'm going to go right click and go to assign existing material, and just assign that. And there, now we got this nice little pattern going through the middle. So anyway, that's just fun stuff. Just wanted to kind of give you some ideas of the direction you can go with this. I don't want to give you too many ideas because I want it to really be your creativity that comes through. But obviously, you can go through and look at, marble tracks. And I'm sure we'll talk about this more in lecture, but oh, my internet is going slow. There we go. I mean, I'm not saying use this exact one, but this just can give you ideas. Wow, that's not even that expensive. I kind of want to get one. All right, so you get the idea. You can look up Marble Madness. You can look up Marble Tracks. I think I have my Marble Madness looked up right here. Get ideas for it. Have some fun with it. Make it creative. Make it you. All right. Have a happy modeling this week. That sounded really awkward, didn't it? Happy modeling. See ya.